Hi everyone, welcome to Coats and Jackets, and today it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. Since now it's October and it's the perfect time of year, I thought it would be great to do some October spooky themed things. So for my top 5 for this Wednesday, I've chosen to do my top 5 favorite scary books I had as a kid. Coming in at number 5 is Classic Scary Stories. This book is a little bit different. It's got a bunch of different stories. Some are fiction, some are based on real stories. I mean, it's still fiction, but, you know, based on supposed true ghost stories. There's also some really classic literature in here. This was one of my first introductions to Sherlock, and I absolutely love Sherlock and really got into it since. It has an excerpt from the Hounds of Baskerville and a short story called The Adventure of the Veiled Lodger, and it's really great to see these short stories in this book. It's also got some really great stuff. It's got The Oblong Box by Edgar Allan Poe, and it has an excerpt from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Coming in at number 4 is The Scariest Places in the World. This was a really silly little book. It was a factual book about different places that were haunted and why they were so haunted and scary. So it gave you some of the history of those places and the different reasons why people thought they might have been haunted because of different events that had happened there. So it was actually super interesting, and as you can tell probably by how tattered it is, it kind of went everywhere with me for a little while. Oh, this is really neat. There's my name on the inside cover where my mom signed it. Coming in at number 3 is the Scary Stories books. Now, I had a few of these compilation books, and once again, they were short story compilations. But this one, in particular, Scary Stories for Stormy Nights, was my favorite. It was also the first one I owned in the series. And again, as you can tell, it got ragged from me carrying it around so much. It was my favorite because of one particular story called Bloody Laundry. I believe it's the second story in the book. And it's about these 3 girls who are on their way home one day. They take a shortcut through the woods and they see a banshee. They don't know what it is at first, and they kind of ask about it. But apparently there's a rumor that, or myth rather, that you see a banshee before you're going to die. And then each girl dies in a different way in what could only be described as an accident, and like total accident, things they don't see coming even while they're actively trying to prevent it. And it's actually really cool, especially for such a short story. Coming in at number 2 is Tales from the Crypt Keeper number 1. Only because I was so attached to this TV series as a kid, both the cartoon and the actual live action. And to have an actual children's book version of the first episode of the show was something that was just so cool, and it was very close to my heart. Coming in at number 1 is Really Scared Stiff. This book had 3 stories in it, and they were amazing. This book actually truly frightened me a bit as a kid. It was most of the drawings that did it. The stories were really good, but also coupled with the types of drawings they had in this and how they were colored, like, it was so weird and creepy and unlike anything else I had ever seen. Like, just look at that cover. Some of these images were just so simple but so truly terrifying. In this first story, this little boy makes a deal with a devil sort of character to get a pair of red shoes that can help him do anything he wants. I mean, even here where he eventually gets attacked because his animals turn on him, it's just something else. In this one, a young girl is haunted by a ghost and she has to figure out the mystery. And there's just such really great pages in this. In the last one, a boy gets followed by and eventually trapped in a woman's shadow. And this one really had me interested in shadows for a long time, and I started paying more attention to them and like drawing them and stuff, because it was just so cool, this idea. Especially that the shadow person, his shadow could overtake him and he would be trapped in this other woman's shadow. It was a really different, interesting concept. Those were my top 5 favorite scary books that I had as a kid. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like these types of videos, I do have more top 5s, and there will be a link to the playlist down below. And I hope you guys tune in again next Wednesday for another spooky top 5. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye.